Come along, children. Now we're going to have a little music.
Yo, what's good? Welcome back to First Cut Live. We are back on YouTube, free from whatever happened last week from YouTube, but now we are back. I am here obviously with the starting lineup, my all-star crew, my all-star team. My playoff squad is all lit. Obviously here with my center, my unicorn, my Kristaps Porzingis. Sabrina Ramirez in the house. What's up, girl?
Hello, I'm feeling good, doing good, happy that we're free from that YouTube whatever happened, and I'm really excited for this topic today.
And obviously we have our power forward, our Julius Randle, our 4 from 22 from the field, RB3 in the house. What's up, bro?
4 from 23.
We can't hear you.
That's insulting, man. 4 from 23. That's bad.
Yo, bro, don't ask me. Ask Julius Randle, bro. That's what I
be disrespecting. Half of my office is like New Yorkers, and they're like New York Knicks fans.
Knicks fans,
yeah. Gonna be happy.
Yo, R.I.P. Prayers up to Howie in heaven. He bit on the Knicks hard, and now they're in the playoffs again. So, shout out to that betting man. I'm talking obviously about Uncut Gems for anyone who gets my reference.
I always thought you were talking about basketball, y'all. So I didn't even pay attention because I'm like, I'm
it's
not.
It's a movie, y'all.
Anyway. Now I know.
Yeah. So shout out to him to see his Knicks playing once again in the Garden in the playoffs. That's reward within itself. That was worth it. All that movie was worth it just to see Julius Randle and Emmanuel Quickley and R.J. Barrett.
Oh my God.
I'll be topping. And the New York Knicks squad. Even though they lost by a point or 2 points, it's all good, y'all. Ice Tray was there. Anyways, guys, we are here because we are talking about movies once again. It is a Monday night, which is kind of strange, but we wanted to try this out. Obviously, we're trying to flex and work with all of our schedules. RB3 has a killer job that requires a lot of hours, especially during the week, especially on Wednesdays and Thursdays and all that. So we felt like Monday nights would be a good, different driver's test kind of vibe. We know a lot of people go live on Wednesday nights. We know a lot of people go live on Tuesday nights.
They still are Wednesday nights. Still are Wednesday nights, by the way. But, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah, but what I guess what I'm trying to say is we're trying to do something on Mondays because Mondays might be a slight different of a change. Maybe not too many channels going live Mondays, so hopefully you have the opportunity to join us. If you do now, if you are joining us, let us know in the chat. Give us a what up, give us a yo, give us a hello. Give us a hashtag support the homies. I pulled that out again, even though that's an old one. But either way, let's catch up with you guys. Let's start with you, Sabrina. How was the weekend?
It's been pretty good. I rewatched season 1 of High School Musical, the series. And then I started season 2. So I think it's only like 2 episodes deep right now. But then because of that, Brandon was like, I want to watch High School Musical because he's never seen it. So I watched High School Musical 1 and 2. So my entire weekend was all centered around High School Musical.
How has he never seen it? I think he was like 9 or 10 when the first one came out, right?
Yeah, he's only a few years older than us. He missed out on it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild. Because I used to Never mind. I'm not gonna spill the tea
I already know.
on soaring and flying. Soaring, fly. I'm not gonna do it.
I know you were karaoke along to it.
Yes. Yo, bro. Troy Barnes. Shout out to my boy. He plays hoops and he's in musical theater. That's my boy. That's what I did.
Well, RB3, I know your high school did it, right?
Yeah, we did it our senior year.
Oh, no way.
Senior year of high
That's
school.
awesome.
I was literally, we did multiple performances. It was really funny because who was the black dude? I always forget his like name in the movie.
Chad.
It's Chad, right? It's Chad.
Yeah.
Chad? That's his name?
I always call him Corman Blue because I feel like Chad.
I was gonna say, wasn't it something blue? But yeah.
Yeah, Corman Blue's,
Yeah.
that's the actor. I always call him Corman Blue. But I played him. And there's that one scene at the end of the first movie where he's like listing off all the basketball greats of East High, like past or whatever.
Yeah.
I just was like improving with just like sub in like players from like our like actual basketball team. And I'd be like Sterling Vincent, like the amazing. It was just really funny. Like, and they'll be in the audience just laughing. That I just did a commentary for High School Musical too with High School Musical with the Wangers. So yeah, be sure to if you are looking to rewatch High School Musical, you can watch it with me and the Wangers.
And then once you watch High School Musical 1 with him and the Wangers, you could check out my commentary of High School Musical 2 that I did with my friend Aiden Kosick over on my Patreon. So much High School Musical content out there. Yeah.
Bro, invite me on a High School Musical, bet on it, musical extravaganza.
Didn't everybody clowned on me last summer?
I still
the Disney
will.
drafts, like the Disney music drafts. My first song, bet on it. I don't care. Best Disney
that's
song of all
not,
time.
bro. Like
Sorry.
we're talking like Disney classics, and you put bet on it on there. Come on, now.
Exactly.
Well, I've always had a little bit of a disdain for High School Musical too, but that's just me. Personally. That's just me personally. It's just I never got it. It's High School Musical. Why aren't they in high school? Why are they like in summer? I don't get it.
Because sometimes
They don't even show if we're getting real, they don't even show the musical in the first film. They just show the auditions leading up to the musical.
Mortal Kombat tournament. There was no tournament. RB3, how was your weekend, bro?
It was great. I was gonna say, Ace, you don't have anything to complain about not being invited to because we were just on an awesome podcast that came out today, right?
So it literally just dropped right now, guys. So if you guys, after you listen to First Cut Live, if you want to check out the Screen Drafts podcast, we were on there ranking our top 7 directorial debuts of the 2010s. Obviously 2010s meaning 2010 to 2019. We did that ranking list. I put a lot of trust in RB3 and we kind of vibed off each other. We did a little, Shaq and Kobe, Dwayne Wade and LeBron, passing the ball left and right.
Please
and trying
tell
to
me
make
Hereditary was on it.
Yes, we put it high.
That was a debated one, yeah.
Very high. No, we put it high.
Yeah.
Like real high.
It was interesting. It's funny too because I've been on a lot of podcasts. I've been fortunate to be on like Rotten Tomatoes, Nerdist. But I gotta tell you, I've never been on any podcast that's had more people be like, "Oh shoot, like you're on Screen Drafts," like because what was it? Alex Marzoni yesterday when we were
he did say that, and I was like, "Really? I never heard of it."
And then Bibiani.
I don't know who these guys are.
Bibiani replied, and it was like, "Oh, good for them." I'm like, "Yo, what the heck? Like, is this like what kind of program is this?" But
yeah. I was like, "All right." We got never mind, I'm not gonna say.
No.
Anyway, go check us out.
Check it out.
Yes, go check it out. They're really nice guys.
They're ranked on like 120 on like one of those on the list, on the podcast list, and that's pretty good. I mean, I have like 1 million podcasts out there. That's pretty good. So
speaking of weekend highs and news to get to, gotta address the elefante in the room. And that is that the Phoenix Suns are going to go 4-0, clean sweep.
Oh, there we go.
On these damn reigning champs, overhyped, injured, old ass, washed up Lakers.
Come on, man.
RB3 and I were going to do a stream right after the game, but he legit chickened out. He legit was crying up a storm.
Come on, man.
Complaining. And I was like, bro, All right, bro. You know, I thought you wanted to go live and talk about the game, but he backed out, bro. That was like, that's cool, man. That's cool. That's cool. You know, if I lost, I would have still done it, but
no, okay, it wasn't okay. So I had legitimately forgot. We did plan. That is true. We did plan on having.
I just forgot something supposed to do before this anyway, so I can't talk.
No. But we did plan on. I will admit, it does look bad for me because we did talk about and discuss doing live recaps of the Suns and Lakers games. We talked about it. We did have a plan for it. Now that day, the day finally came. I totally forgot. It was Sunday. You know what I mean? It was Sunday. I was like, were you not even?
I literally said, bro, are you not even watching this game right now? Everyone's watching it. I had like people from like high school text me and like everyone texted me yesterday and they were like, yo, Suns, bro. And I was like, how's RB3 not watching this? No. Did you even watch the game, bro?
I saw the fourth quarter. I did see the fourth quarter. It was It was tough, man. I mean, I hate seeing the Lakers play like that. I hate seeing AD play like that.
It was bad. They played bad. They're gonna play bad again on Tuesday, hopefully.
They do. They lose the first games of a lot of these and end up coming back strong. So
true.
I have
I can't.
No doubt in them.
Like the Latino saying, or at least my Colombian saying that my mom always taught me, no puedes cantar victoria, which means like don't take game one and be like, we got this. We gotta, you know, take it a game at a time. I'm not gonna say it's over. So that's why we're moving on.
What's up? You were blown.
No, I was peaceful.
You was really trying to.
I had 2 tweets and that's it, bro. Everything else was peaceful. I was at peace.
Oh my god!
No, bro, I didn't talk any crap at all.
I can't wait till the Lakers. Oh, I can't wait till AD's feeling good again.
You'll get a game. You'll get a game.
Anyway, I don't know what you mean. This is about to be best out of.
You'll get a game.
Well, come on now. The disrespectful.
Trying to bring Sabrina back in this. Sabrina had this great idea for this live stream. Because she decided to do a Knives Out 2 pitch. Obviously, guys, if you guys have followed me or noticed me for the past couple months, I got my Knives Out mug. Literally says Knives Out on it. I'm a major Knives Out fan. I thought it should be nominated for Best Picture. I literally said it that year. So Sabrina decided to say, hey, let's try out a Knives Out 2 pitch. Maybe we can leave it up to the chat to decide which one is the best one of all out of the 3 of us. So now the question I have for you guys is, obviously we have a little bit of casting for the Knives Out 2 movie so far, but we're going to cast our... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, okay, yes. We should do this now. That's cool. I was going to say, do we want to talk about Eternals real quick before?
Oh, we should talk about Eternals. Yeah, let's talk about Eternals. Eternals, it happened. Richard Madden's there. Jon Snow's there. Kit Harington. Shout out to my boys, Rob Stark and Jon Snow. That's kind of all the thoughts I have on the Eternals trailer.
That's all the thoughts?
Yeah,
Are if I'm being real. The trailer, or?
Yeah, it looks cool. It looks cool, but I don't know the story of Eternals. Like, I really don't. Yeah. So my thing is just like, yo, that's Rob Stark, bro. King of the North. Let's get it.
That's the same kind of position that I'm in right now because, like, I don't know anything about it. Also, I really slightly watched the trailer. I just have gotten burned by trailers so many times, and I feel like a lot of people have, where I try to avoid them as much as possible. So for this one, I was kind of skimming through it and just looking at different shots and looking at how the characters looked. And honestly, I love what I'm seeing with, like, the ensemble. And so the people that stand out to me, of course, like Angelina Jolie, Salma Hayek, so many of these people, Gemma Chan, she is incredible. I am so happy that, like, after Crazy Rich Asians, I just absolutely fell in love with her. So she's kind of one of those people that I just want to see in everything. So everybody that I saw, I really, really liked. The characters look sick. I have no idea what the story is. I don't know what they're going to do, how they're going to kind of phase this into Marvel with what we know now and going forward. It's going to be interesting because from what I do know, they're like protectors of Earth, and that they're like descendants of celestial beings. So how does that factor in with everything that we just saw happen in the Marvel Cinematic Universe? You know, like where were they at that time? How are they going to deal with all of that? Yeah, but overall, it looks beautiful. I like a little bit of like the softer, like muted color palette of it. I know some people are comparing it to like past Marvel cinematography, like not being that exciting, but I think this looks so much better than that because it feels like purposeful to the story that it looks this way.
Yeah, what do you think, RB3?
Well, I was incredibly excited about it. Just from this trailer. I know it didn't give us a lot, but that's exactly what I want from a trailer, if I'm being honest.
Yes.
I don't like trailers that like spoon feed a bunch of story information, all that kind of stuff to you. I just love that this whole concept is like about like the very first like superhero team, essentially. Like that's kind of what they're going at for, right? And I think this is, I mean, at least from the outside looking in, at least like speculating on how, at least I'm kind of reading the themes of this movie a little bit. This seems like this could be some sort of analogy or a metaphor for like Native Americans or like Native American culture. Like there's a whole society of superheroes, of beings that were here first, just not recognized throughout history, and that been secretly building like our society and protecting our society. I don't know. I think there's so many interesting directions that this could go in. I didn't, you're talking about the color palette, Sabrina. I didn't think that was a problem at all. I think that is very intentional. I think that is exactly what they are going for. We're talking about Academy Award winner Chloe Zhao directing this project. Mm-hmm. So I think this is going to be really impactful. I just think, I don't know. I get excited for the more sci-fi that the Marvel Cinematic Universe gets. The more like, this feels like very... This doesn't feel like a conventional superhero movie per se. This feels, it doesn't even feel like Guardians, because even Guardians feels like more operatic and more like alien and extra world. This feels, at least from the trailer, it feels more like sci-fi. Like it almost feels more in the tune of like a Dune or like or something like that to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting my hopes high. Maybe I'm getting myself excited. Maybe I'm just like, overhyping myself, but I can't help but to look at this cast: Angelina Jolie, Kumail Nanjiani, like all these amazing people, plus an Academy Award winning director, plus like just everything about it. Like I feel like the stories like these are the ones I get most excited about, because I have no connection, I have no relationship to this. This isn't like Spider-Man where I'm gonna like watch it with like a fine eye. This is something I could go into completely fresh and just enjoy it. So I'm really excited about it.
By fine eye you mean judgmental ass eye. Shout out to Far From Home, great movie.
I don't know about great.
And Tom Holland.
Like button, people, hit that like button. Where's all the likes at, y'all? Let's go.
Anyways, guys, let's get to our actual story of the day.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay,
RB3, just take over.
Just do one more announcement. One more announcement, because we should do announcements at the beginning. Can I just, or I guess I didn't discuss this with y'all, but I do have a pretty big announcement. For everybody watching this stream right now, and this will be announced on social media as well after the stream. But for everybody who have been looking forward to watching Timestamp, who has been looking forward to seeing the film that Cade Huseby and I have co-directed and been looking forward to it for all this time, it is here. The premiere date is happening. It is happening on Friday, June 4th. Friday, June 4th at 7 p.m. is when we are premiering our new film, Timestamp, starring Ken Knapsack, starring our lovely Jackie Ayanna Taylor. We have Jay Washington's in it. It's going to be such a stacked, it's a stacked cast, it's a stacked everything. It's going to be awesome. And I'm really excited to be showing the movie to people. Now, this is an invite-only premiere, so Ace is going to be watching it, Sabrina's going to be watching it, all of our Indiegogo supporters who have contributed money will be watching it, but also you watching at home right now can watch Timestamp as well. That's right. If you are a First Cut Patreon, at any level, the $5 tier, the $10 tier, the $50 tier, literally at any level whatsoever, you are automatically invited to this virtual premiere of Timestamp. It will be hosted live at 7 o'clock, Friday, June 4th at 7 o'clock here on First Cut. Private invite only. And the way you get invited is if you become a First Cut Patreon today. Yeah, so it's going to be really exciting. We're going to have a great Q&A. We will be having a very special host. We will be announcing hopefully really, really soon as well. But yeah, that's going to be Timestamp. We can get the air horn for Timestamp going real quick. I'm going to get the applause going too. That's coming. It's coming, y'all. You just have to become a First Cut Patreon today. So the Patreon for First Cut is at the top of the description down below.
Absolutely,
awesome.
guys. Friday. What? Say the time again, RB3, just so people know.
7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 7 o'clock PST.
And where are you going to post the link for the Patreon subscribers?
Well, if you are a First Cut Patreon,
is it going to be on the Patreon page?
It'll be on the Patreon page. Yeah, it'll be
Copy.
on the Patreon page. But this is an invite only live premiere, and just because we are entering this film into like film festivals and all this stuff, it will be a live only kind of situation. Like as soon as the 7 is over, as soon as it's 7 o'clock, our window's over. Sorry, you're gonna miss it. We're gonna have to take the film down, unfortunately. So you have to be there at 7 on Friday, June 4th. So
Copy.
That is awesome. It's going to be taking us back to these like film screenings, film premieres. That energy is going to be high.
Yeah.
Absolutely. RB3. I'm excited to see it for sure. Alrighty, guys. Now let's get to what we were going to do today. Once again, this was Sabrina's idea. We decided to give our small pitches because we can't just make a whole movie here, guys, because I don't know if I have a whole movie in my head right now. But I did come up with a pretty elaborate, I don't know, mine is like a little extra. I was like, man, I'm going way too far. But it kind of was inspired by the cast that has been announced now from Knives Out 2. A little bit, mine was inspired by it. So currently the cast we have now from Knives Out 2, this is officially on IMDb, is Dave Bautista, who we just saw in Army of the Dead, Catherine Hahn, who we just saw in WandaVision. The most recent one was Kate Hudson. We have Ed Norton, Leslie Odom Jr., and Janelle Monáe are the cast members that I see right now on the IMDb profile, besides Daniel Craig as Benoit Blanc. So before we get to that, what do you guys think of this cast so far from Knives Out 2?
Yo, I love it. I think it's a really great mix of people that we've seen in all different directions. That's something that I loved about the first film, is that we had Jaden Martell, best known for it. We had Catherine Langford, and then people like Toni Collette, like Daniel Craig. And they were all able to work together so seamlessly. That chemistry was through the roof. So I'm expecting that if he's going to have an ensemble like this again, that we're going to have that again. I think that Rian Johnson just brings out a specific something with an ensemble. I don't know what it is, but it is so high energy and it is so exciting. So yeah, I'm excited to see it.
RB3, what do you think about this cast so far?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously an exciting cast. I like seeing the direction that they're going. I like that there's more than one black person in this one. I love Knives Out. Obviously I love Knives Out. I saw it like 7 times in theaters. But I'm just glad there's like not just Lakeith. It looks like, I don't know if Janelle Monáe and who's the other?
Leslie Odom Jr.
Leslie Odom Jr. If they're supposed to be like a couple, because I mean they're both great singers. I mean, wouldn't that be dope? If I'm spoiling my pitch.
Wait, yeah, I'm like,
is that I kind of like that. I have a different take on mine.
I don't know. But yeah, I'm excited about this. I think there's so many cool directions with it, and I don't know. I said it before, but I really think if Netflix wanted to like take that jump and start a theatrical thing and really put the move into the theaters, this would be a great movie to kick that off with, for sure.
And speaking of kicking things off, who wants to kick off our Knives Out 2 pitch? Sabrina is excited, y'all. She's like, yo, this is what I do. Give me the damn ball. Sabrina, give us your Knives Out 2 pitch.
All right. So a little
Doesn't
bit
have
from
to
what
be
I've
with this
heard you
cast, by the
guys.
way.
Yeah,
Just clarification.
that's mine personally is not, but obviously I could always swap out specific people or whatever. But for me, I actually came up with this cast list because we had this planned honestly a few weeks ago when this first started kind of dropping. So before any of that was announced, my personal cast is Eddie Murphy, Bill Hader, Rachel Ziegler, Kelly Marie Tran, Coleman Domingo, Megan Fox, William H. Macy, Regina Hall, and Olivia Rodrigo, of course. So my premise with this one is obviously in the first film, Toni Collette, she mentioned that she read an article about Benoit Blanc. Benoit Blanc has been already put on the map. He is very prevalent. He is known. But what is the story that put him on the map? What is the case that he worked on that put him on the map? Mine is kind of going to be a prequel. I hate when sequels are prequels, but I couldn't resist because of that interaction. It made me super interested to get to know a little bit more of what he's doing there. So mine is going to be titled Knives Out, Another Cut, or First Cut, if we're getting into that. But anyways, mine is going to be yeah, mine's going to be taking place on a production of a film. So this entire cast, we have the director, who is going to be played by Coleman Domingo, and the rest of the cast obviously plays other people in the film. We have different producers kind of scattered throughout everywhere. So for this one, it is going to be kind of about money embezzlement and like fraud and kind of like the grittiness. We're going a little bit like neo-noir-esque, but still with that Rian Johnson energy. So it's like somebody is stealing money from the production of this film. This money is going somewhere else, and we have to get to the bottom of where this is happening. So mine is not going to be having to do with like a murder mystery necessarily. I kind of wanted to do something fresh and new with this one. So there is going to be so much. I am definitely taking inspiration from something like an Inherent Vice or an Under the Silver Lake, where we get into the nitty gritty, the dirtiness of Los Angeles and Hollywood as a whole, and kind of like uncovering all these deep secrets with everyone in the cast with their interactions. So again, my cast is Eddie Murphy, Bill Hader, Rachel Zegler, Kelly Marie Tran, Coleman Domingo, Megan Fox. So underrated. The reason why I casted a lot of these people, I think there's some people that we know like Eddie Murphy who have been A-listers forever, and then we have newcomers like Rachel Ziegler and Olivia Rodrigo. So of course, on any set of a film, you're gonna have people of all different ages, people of all different statuses, and I kind of just like this mix, giving Megan Fox another boost in her career because obviously a lot of stuff in her personal life just prevented that. William H. Macy, super underrated actor. Regina Hall, another one. I want to see Regina Hall go dramatic. I want to see her go wild and flex her chops because she has been incredible throughout her entire career and is just never given those like accolades. I want to get an Oscar nomination for Regina Hall based off of this film. She is one of the main stars of the production. Wow.
I think the biggest selling factor you have, I mean, obviously your cast is fine. I mean, but it's great. It's definitely, fine. I don't mean fine as in like, it works. It definitely works. But I think the idea of like a production, a set on a production is kind of cool. I think any one of us who's like a film fan or a film geek would definitely appreciate that. I think you guys put a lot more effort into the whole casting thing that I did. I was just kind of gonna ad-lib my cast. I was just like, yeah, this guy. But I think I'll go next just because mine might be less elaborate or less, beautiful as RB3's. Because I'm sure RB3 is coming out with, knives out and guns out for this pitch.
No way.
But the first thing I thought of, you know what I thought of? I thought of the first, what you said, Sabrina. Knives Out, the first movie. What put him on the map? It was a tennis scandal. And I was like, yo, what would be doper? And as soon as I heard Dave Bautista, I was like, give me a sports scandal murder, Knives Out style with Benoit Blanc and make it about the NFL. And I kept thinking about it and I was like, yo, the NFL is like the biggest sport right now in the country. It's making like so much money that they don't even know what to do with it. These billionaire owners of the teams are just baking this money is insane. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool if, like, I think the themes of Knives Out is always like the little guy and like, and what to do with money, or like how one person wants to use the money for something good and everyone else wants to use it for themselves. And I thought it would be cool if, like, what if there was like an ex-NFL player who's like, let's say he's like a current NFL commentator, or an ex-NFL player who's like now speaking out against the NFL. And I was like, wouldn't it be kind of, I know this is wild because this never happened. The NFL would shut this down. The NFL is so damn powerful, it's not even funny. But what if he was like testifying against the NFL about like concussion protocol or NFL safety or NFL distribution of wealth, and how they've paid players so little, even though they're literally giving their bodies on the line and sometimes ending up with life-threatening injuries. And what if he's like set to testify in court, and right before he's set to testify, someone kills him, or like he dies in a car accident that no one knows how it happened, and Benoit Blanc has to figure out like how this car accident happened, even though it was like in very suspicious ways. And then you find out this cast of characters who is like the coach, his friend, his teammates, who are all like really big personalities, quirky dudes, weird dudes. Some of them work in sports media, so you could do a little bit more like the Sports Center side. Like mine is set like in the sports Bristol kind of ESPN headquarters type vibe. And I was thinking like the interviews could be set there, and it could be about like, how do you talk about the NFL while also being critical about the NFL, or how do you support players while also being critical of what the owners are doing or what the commissioner of the NFL is doing. And I thought like the deeper I got, I was like, yo, this could go so deep, because this could be about like the coach. In the end, it's like the coach was trying to get money from this NFL player, and he wanted to donate his money to like more NFL research and to more charities that are helping out people from his community, because he grew up poor, this ex-NFL player. And he wanted to give his money to charity when he died, and now people are fighting over his money, and it's like his coach who is like his father figure. And I was like, there's always like that one coach who's like, you think he's a good guy, but he's actually like a money grubbing asshole. Shout out to Nick Saban. But people like that, where I was like, yo, this could be like all about like paying players in college football. This could be about the NFL and concussion protocols and how the money, how the owners distribute money and all that. And I was just like, I just think could be cool. It could be Dave Bautista playing the ex-NFL player. I was like, that's kind of perfect, because I think he kind of fits that. I was like, throw in some other big dudes like Terry Crews, I don't know, Michael B. Jordan as a current NFL running back or something, and just so he can talk to RB3. He winks at RB3. Sure, Lee Pace, why not? But yeah, it's people like that. I think would be like kind of a cool vibe, and it could be a big, diverse cast. Yeah, that's my idea. I don't know. I just think it'd be kind of interesting. And I went too long. I'm sorry, RB3. Go for it.
Nah, I mean, I don't think that was too long at all. I was loving that pitch. I mean, I don't know. I just was going off of the cast that we've got so far. So this one is going to be a little bit different. Now, I know I said Netflix should try the theatrical model, but they've also been trying the whole avenue of interactive media, right? With the Bandersnatch, with the multiple endings. You see where I'm going with this, right? You see where I'm going with this.
I don't know if I'm gonna like this.
I want to see a multi-leveled, multi-angled Knives Out sequel where, based on your interpretation, you find out who the murderer is, and you're obviously following through the eyes of Daniel Craig's like character or whatever, but you inform the decisions that he makes. But what's the overarching story, right? The overarching story is Joel Monet and Leslie Odom Jr. are powerhouse singing couple, like Jay-Z and Beyonce type status, right? But in reality, they're super public, they're super famous, but they hate each other at home. They're always fighting, and they have a security guard, Dave Bautista, who is super nice. And Leslie Odom Jr. is kind of a dick to his wife, so he his wife has a little bit of a little something going on with Dave Bautista. Next thing you know, though, morning comes around and Leslie Odom Jr. is just found murdered in his bed. Now, was it his wife? Was it the security guard? Was it Ed Norton's character, who is, kind of the shiesty manager a little bit? He was kind of, you don't really know his angle in his game all that much. But I think overall, I think just like in the same way that, to me, I felt like the first Knives Out was a good metaphor for like important issues that was happening like in our society. I feel like there's multiple ways that you could take this story and make it relevant. I think particularly from like a racial dynamic too. That's where you can have in like, was it some sort of authority figure? Was it like a higher level like assassination? So I don't know. There's a whole lot of different ways. Oh wait, we have a donation coming in, y'all.
Oh, we do?
Let's see. Oh, did it play?
No.
Oh, dang, I don't think it played. Okay, well, whatever. I'll come back. I'll have to read that one. Oh wait, I think it's playing. Oh, you?
It's,
never mind.
I don't hear
I'll play it. I'll play it later. Man, where was I?
Thank you to whoever donated. We'll hear
Knives
that
Out
later.
too. Yeah. So yeah, was it like a political assassination? Like, was it the fact that was it like racially motivated? Was it the fact that was it actually Dave Bautista? Like, these are all different avenues you could take from having multiple endings. So I don't exactly know where the story is exactly going to end up. I'm giving y'all the premise, but I'm gonna let the creative geniuses like Rian Johnson figure out
who are you playing. If you're whose actions are you taking? Like, decision A, decision B. Is it Daniel Craig's POV?
Daniel Craig. You gotta be from Daniel Craig's POV. You gotta be from Daniel Craig's
that makes
POV.
sense.
And I think Kate Hudson's coming in to help as like the police, as one of the police people. So she could be a little funny. She gets a little bit of that comedic wit off while it's going on. But who knows? Maybe she has like some of the nefarious motives going on too. Maybe it was the police who was behind it this entire time, and that's who Daniel Craig figures out. I don't know.
This is dope, man. I have a question for all of us. What would be our what is it called? Like subline in a poster? Like if it has a poster like for Alien, it was like no one can hear you scream in space or something like that. What is that thing called? Someone help me out. I'm so sorry.
Tagline.
Logline, not tagline. Or like no one can hear you scream, or in space, blah 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 blah. Like, what is your what is that called? Is it logline or?
I think that's the
tagline.
I think
It's
the
like
logline's
tagline.
for the screenplay. I think, yeah. But
What would yours be, Sabrina?
My title is Knives Out, another cut, like
Yeah.
a film cut, but then also because like the knives. So director's cut, yo.
Yeah.
But I'd have to think about that. It would definitely be something pertaining to like film, like a little play on words, something about like, yo, like, is that a rap? That's bad, but something along these lines. But yeah, because with mine, I like how all of ours are kind of dealing with, we're going off of the inspiration of the first film and like touching on all different places. You're literally in the world of sports. You're in the world of like music and like different empires like that, RB3, which that is so interesting. And there's so much to explore with that. And then obviously mine is the film industry. So we're all kind of touching on different industries rather than like a very wealthy family. We're hitting all these different areas with our cast where they're not all connected by like blood or by marriage. And yeah, I mean, that allows us to kind of go in all these different directions. So I really like that. Of course, I like mine the best, but yours is
Tagline is what Kermit the Pog says. Tagline. I think that's what it's called. It's called tagline. I don't know. Mine would be like, I still think Knives Out 2 is fine, but like, I don't know. America's pastime is now America's slash time.
oh shoot!
Yo, I drop bars right now, man. I don't know, man. What would be yours, RB3?
Oh man! Oh shoot!
Knives Out to choose your choose your cut. Make your cut.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Knives Out too. Chop your own cheese. I don't know.
Chop your own cheese. That's terrible. Yeah. I don't know. I think all of ours are pretty great, but yeah, I'm definitely partial to mine for sure. So obviously now the time has come. Everyone in the chat who's joining us, and by everyone I mean all 12 of you.
Come on, y'all.
All 12 of you.
We are.
All 12 of you guys, we really do appreciate you guys. Who had the best pitch, or whose movie do you want to see the most? I think Sabrina and I are the only ones who pitch actual movies and not playing video games.
Yo, the Bandersnatch thing, it worked though for me.
It
like it was
Emmy.
really.
It did not
fun.
work for me. It did not work for me. It did win an Emmy. Yeah. Yo, the bar is low.
All right, man. I don't know about that.
Pick a favorite, guys. Let us know in the chat.
Kylie donated. Kylie donated and said, "Who's ready for crossover time? It's time we cross over the cast of Knives Out with Bad Boys, and it could be a comedy, action, murder, mystery titled Bad Boys Out. I'm here for that.
Yeah." That'd be
That's
dope.
actually
With Will Smith,
something that
Martin
makes
Lawrence.
sense. Yeah, that's actually a crossover that makes sense. It's like when they wanted to do Men in Black 21 Jump Street. I loved that. But then now people are mentioning like Jurassic Park and Fast and the Furious. And I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I always thought, like, why didn't Bad Boys and 21 Jump Street crossover? Like, that would have been more perfect. I don't know why that one.
I don't know if they're owned by the same. Are they owned by the?
They're both Sony. They're both Sony.
Are they both Sony? Wow.
I think.
I don't know. Is that the case? Isn't it Warner Brothers? Isn't? Oh no, you might be right. It is Sony. You're right. It's Sony.
See,
I guess 21 and 22 was like way before Bad Boys for Life, or way before they were getting ready for that. I bet if it was around the same time, that's probably something they would have done.
Yeah, I mean, the last Bad Boys was already kind of like a. I mean, how many times did Martin Lawrence say, like, "Are we in a telenovela?" Because it kind of was a telenovela. It really was. Like, if you watch that movie back, you're like, bro, take out all the action scenes. This is a telenovela, straight up. And he said that many times.
Put in all the action scenes is the exact same movie as Gemini Man. The exact same movie.
Oh, it is. It low key is, bro. I remember we said that when we watched it.
It's literally the exact same.
So far, Kylie's the only one that says Sabrina. Duh. So anyone else? Come on, guys. You can't just be Sabrina getting votes here. We need some votes, y'all. But anyways, I think all our pitches are pretty good. Either way, we're all excited for Knives Out too. I still can't believe it's on Netflix. That's the only bummer.
That is weird. Yeah.
It's a bummer. I know, good for Ryan, getting whatever 350 mil, however much he got. It was something big. I forgot what it was, but good for him. But still, I was like, damn, like, I'm just gonna watch that on Netflix. Like, who here saw Army of the Dead in theaters? Who saw it in theaters?
I mean, there wasn't an option.
No one. Yes, there was. There totally was.
Yeah,
you could see it in theaters. And we still decided to watch it on Netflix because guess what? If it's on Netflix, we can watch it at home on Netflix.
Also,
I don't know.
well, the thing is, Army of the Dead. That's exactly. It's Army of the Dead.
I saw Mortal Kombat on my laptop, fam.
Well, yeah, that's a lot of these films like Army of the Dead, Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat, I did want to see in theaters. Army of the Dead, I had no idea what it was about until I started the film. I didn't know anything about it. I didn't watch any of the trailers. So unfortunately, it was just not one of those films that I would have taken a gamble to see in a theater. I did see Spiral and Mainstream, and I enjoyed the experience of seeing both of those in a theater. I'm not saying the movies were perfect at all, but I enjoyed that because it gave something different. Like, the audience was super interactive. Obviously, with like Spiral, you can always hear like everyone's gasps and reactions and whatever, and the energy was just there. Army of the Dead, after watching it, would have been a fun movie to watch in a theater.
But I guess my point is, if you could watch Spiral for free on YouTube, Wouldn't you see what I'm saying? Like you would just watch it off for free on YouTube or on Netflix or on
I don't know, man.
HBO.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that because I think
100%.
Netflix has a certain brand expectation to it. I think unlike anything else, Netflix has a brand expectation that you should be watching this at home. You should be watching this like pausing. You should be like, that's part of the Netflix brand. On their TV shows, like their TV shows, it's weird when they do the week to week thing. Part of their brand is the binge thing. If they do the week to week thing, people find it weird now, as opposed to that's part of the Disney Plus brand. That's part of the HBO Max brand, but that's not part of the Netflix brand. So I'm saying that to say that for me personally, I would have loved to seen Army of the Dead in theaters. I just didn't even think to Google it because I knew when I knew for me, like I knew when I needed to see a Netflix movie in theaters, it was only going to be like The Irishman or only going to be like Marriage Story. And that's literally only because of the awards thing. I didn't think they were going to try to do something like a theatrical release for this. I just didn't think that was the case. I didn't know did they announce that somewhere or did they make that a big deal or... I didn't see any commercials about it.
I feel like it just kind of like dropped and everybody was like, oh,
I saw a ton of commercials.
Really?
But it's on Netflix and theaters, they would say in those commercials.
Yeah. See,
I just feel like you're right. It is part of the Netflix brand where when you say we're releasing a movie, watch it this weekend in the comfort of your home, enjoy it with your family or by yourself or with your friends or however you want to do it. But the expectation of watching it in theaters is just not there. I low-key love that. We haven't talked about it, but that Denny just put his foot down and he was like, hell no, this is not going to happen with Dune. Dune will only be in theaters. If anyone wants to see this movie, they will see it in a damn movie theater. I love that he said that because I low-key am with him because I really do feel like low-key so far, we don't really know what this HBO Max story has been. I'm so curious to find out what's going to happen within the Heights. Because I feel like that's the next big one that's coming up right now. And I don't know how much it's going to be watched on HBO Max, going to be watched in movie theaters. I think that's kind of the next big litmus test, I guess, for this whole experiment that HBO Max has currently done. How do you guys feel about that? Because I don't know.
I mean... in a time like this, I feel like we're getting to the point where people are finally getting way more comfortable going outside and going to see things in a theater. Yeah. So I feel like In the Heights is going to be one of those films that is like a celebration and you do want to see on the big screen. Obviously for us, for people like us on this panel right now, that's every single movie. We would much rather see it in a theater than at our own homes. Yes. And I feel like the excitement to be able to go outside and to see something is 100% there. I've seen it a lot in Los Angeles now. A lot of bars and things like that are opening up and people are spending their time outside. And plus, like Spiral was packed and I saw it days after it released and it was packed. Like it was to capacity. So it wasn't packed like on a normal like pre-pandemic day, but it was to capacity.
Whoa. Kylie donated $10. Just because you guys and lady are amazing and beautiful just the way you are and the best looking team in the business. Heart.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kylie.
Appreciate that. RB3 is muted.
Oh, sorry. Thank you, Kylie. Thank you. And again, people, if you want your message read out loud, $5 plus donations, we will greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you, Kylie. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kylie.
Any final news or topics you guys want to get to? RB3?
Two things. There's two things.
Yes.
I've been meaning to bring this up for weeks, and obviously we've been not doing the show and stuff. But we have an episode coming out, right? We should mention that too. Sorry. Yes, we do have an episode coming out. Yes, again, we should be doing these things at the beginning. The new episode of the Meaning Of podcast is coming out. Woo! Whoa. Yeah.
Is that still a thing? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, no, it's still here. And I know we got we're probably going to get some. I looked at Anchor today and we already got some new people subscribing.
No way.
From
these 12
drafts.
people in the chat are coming through.
Well, I mean, I was talking, I don't know if you watch the YouTube. I was talking about the podcast feed. But yeah, I mean, we got Alex Marzonia joining us this week for Asian American filmmakers. It's going to be a very, very great topic that will be coming out really, really soon. I'm not sure exactly which day, probably like very soon. And that'll be happening. So yeah, the Meeting Up podcast is back and we will be doing that more regularly and have more support behind that. I'm really, really excited.
Your two things.
The two things. The one thing that I've been meaning to bring up for weeks. These are old comments at this point, but I'm just gonna say it. There's Adam McKay.
I'm scared.
Adam McKay.
Okay.
Adam McKay had said that he felt that Adam McKay said that Aaron Sorkin was a White Ring version of him. I don't know what you guys feel about that.
What?
Adam McKay, the director behind The Big Short and Vice, said that Aaron Sorkin is just a right wing version of him, of Adam McKay, you know? Or I guess Adam McKay is a left wing version of
Aaron Sorkin.
Aaron Sorkin. Yeah. However way you want to say
I don't care. What's the second thing?
That was funny. I just thought it was funny. I don't know. Just find out hilarious.
I don't know if Sabrina cares.
The girls are fighting. Aaron
Who's the
Sorkin
girls?
and Adam McKay. But no, I find that to just be really funny. I love when people are just like outspoken on that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Like, because we're all Aaron Sorkin fans here, obviously from like The Social Network
Are
and
we?
things like that.
I'm just playing.
Well, I mean, The Social Network is one of the best movies like ever made, and we did our commentary on that on the Patreon. But
that's a Fincher film. By the way.
Yeah, but it's Sorkin. It is so much Sorkin. Like it literally is. Come on. Yeah. That's his movie. Directed.
Okay, what was the second thing, RB3?
The quote Adam McKay said the real white wing in our country is the moderates. The right wing version of me, maybe this isn't the best example, is an Aaron Sorkin. I don't know. I feel like that's the biggest sneak diss of all time. Am I the only one who's like...
I don't think that's a sneak diss. But that's definitely low-key true. I feel like that's very true. I haven't said a lot because we haven't been on, but man, people really like that straddling the middle, looking like, you know, both sides everything. And I'm like, no.
But Joseph Gordon-Levitt's a family man.
Oh, I hate that.
He's not a bad guy. He's a family man.
Hated that. What was the second thing, RB3?
Second thing is I've been reading. I mean, I recommend it for people who are interested in Seth Rogen, but I've been reading Seth Rogen's like autobiography. Not autobiography. His autobiography, but his
kind of like memoir.
His memoir, yeah. But he has an audiobook version of it. And he tells like some of the most hilarious Hollywood stories I think I've ever heard in my entire life. He tells a story about Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, like him meeting those two and him Spielberg trying to pitch Seth Rogen a movie about a kid who plays video games and ends up saving the world. And Seth Rogen's like, isn't that just The Last Star Killer? And then he's like, yeah, yes it is. And then like literally years later, he makes like Ready Player One. And then there's so many good stories in there. There's another one that just killed me about the Green Hornet. You both seen
good movie.
Yeah, you both seen Kung Fu Hustle, right? With Stephen Chow. So the original plan was for the Green Hornet to have Stephen Chow as Kato, and not only to have him star, but to have him direct. But apparently, he sent in a version of the script that had Stephen Chow sent in a version of the script that had like an age joke in it, and then the studio was like, no, we can't have like him direct. Like, of course not. So then they ended up having him as it's such a crazy story. There's so many like out of this world stories that you just wouldn't believe you'd hear from like Seth Rogen's perspective, but like he has them. So I'd recommend it if people care enough about Seth Rogen and his life.
That is so crazy, honestly, because I recently rewatched The Green Hornet. I had a very bad experience watching it for the first time. I got food poisoning from a place called Bojangles in North Carolina. Bojangles is so good, but that one specific time I got food poisoning, and my whole family was watching The Green Hornet, and I was sick, and we were in North Carolina. But anyways, I revisited it pretty recently, and it's just crazy that Michel Gondry, the same guy who did Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, did this film. Just like so two opposite films.
And Michel Gondry is actually in the audiobook. Like he plays himself in the audiobook. Like
what?
And Snoop Dogg plays himself in the audiobook. It's so crazy. It's a really good.
I'm gonna have to listen to it.
Yeah.
Any other topics you want to get to, Sabrina? Or news? RB3, I'll give you the final shot. Give me something.
Is there any other news? Wasn't like a company swallowed up, like another merger?
Yeah, there was a merger. Warner Brothers with what was it? Discovery Plus. Hopefully, that gets dealt with. Obviously, it's more power to Warner Brothers and AT&T.
What are we supposed to say at this point? It's just another company swallowing another company, like
to make another company.
More monopoly, more monopoly.
AT&T is always, it's like if you look a little bit into research into it, you'll realize that it's kind of shady. It's something. The only other thing I did want to say was that we will probably, maybe, possibly, I'm saying this live, so I don't know, be doing an Army of the Dead spoiler review coming out later, maybe tomorrow, maybe soon. I don't know. It's coming out eventually. So if you saw Army of the Dead and you want to hear us talk about it, be on the lookout for that. Either way, guys, that was our episode of First Cut Live. Thank you to the people in the chat that joined us. We really do appreciate you guys. Sabrina, where can everyone find you?
You guys can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at SabrinaXMonica, also on Twitter at SabrinaOnFilm, and here, doing the thing.
Doing the thing. RB3, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DirectorRB3. And Zeno Hour let me know in the chat. Warner Media is buying Discovery, and Amazon is buying MGM. So great.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. And you can find me at the Timestamp premiere, the Timestamp virtual premiere happening Friday, June 4th at 7 p.m. All First Cut Patreons are invited. So if you become a First Cut Patreon today, you are automatically invited. So be there.
There you go, guys. Go ahead and do that. Obviously, subscribe to us if you haven't done so already. You can find me at Squad Leader Ace, where I will be tweeting more about playoff basketball. It's an exciting time to be alive and to be a basketball fan, guys. I really do love what's happening. It's literally getting me through life right now.
Basketball.
Yes.
The Meaning of Podcast, of course, that is coming back again. Expect another episode very soon. Army of the Dead review and Bad Batch Fridays with Andres.
Yeah, Bad Batch Fridays will be back this week, guys. So be on the lookout for that to see if I will have a guest or if I will just ride it solo. We'll see. Either way, guys, I will be there. Join us then on Friday nights. Either way, guys, for the First Cut crew, we are peacing out. Peace.
Only one can remain. It's either me or you. Only one can remain. It's either me or you. Only one can remain. It's either me or you. Take you out the equation. It's either me or you. You do the math. Only one can remain.
It's Brittany, babe.